Over 3 billion oranges are harvested in Florida every year, fueling the country's thirst for orange juice. Behind every glass lies a fascinating process of picking, sorting, squeezing, and bottling on a massive industrial scale. In this video, we'll follow the incredible journey that turns millions of ripe oranges into the fresh juice you enjoy every day. Once the oranges reach the right level of sweetness, the harvest begins. In some orchards, workers still pick oranges by hand, carefully placing them into bags. However, because the factory needs millions of oranges every day, a faster method is used. Since small imperfections don't matter when the fruit is headed straight for the juicer, machines do most of the work. After being harvested, the oranges are lowered onto a rinsing platform before entering the factory. There, they are sprayed with water and scrubbed by rotating brushes to remove any dirt or surface contaminants, making sure they are spotless before juicing. Once cleaned, the oranges move on to the pre-sorting stage. Careful inspectors work along the conveyor belts, removing any oranges that are squashed, damaged, or showing signs of decay. The good oranges continue forward until they reach a platform made of thousands of tiny pins. These pins gently pierce the skins just enough to release the essential oils. More on that in a moment. Next, the oranges are sorted by size, using a system of rollers that separates them by diameter. Even though all the oranges will eventually be juiced, sorting them ensures that each one fits perfectly into the right extractor. Now it's time to squeeze out all that flavor and turn the oranges into juice. The sorted oranges are fed into special extractors, where each orange is held in a glass, cut in half, and pressed against a rotating cone that extracts the juice and pulp in one quick motion. This system works similarly to a home juicer, just on a much larger scale, processing up to 800 oranges per minute and helping the factory produce up to 1,900,000 liters of juice each day. But that's not the only method. Some factories use a machine with rows of sharp metal prongs. The oranges are placed onto the prongs, and a strong press forces the fruit downward, squeezing out the juice and separating the peel from the pulp. The pulp is not wasted. It's collected in metal drums to be reused later. We'll explain more about that soon. As for the peels, once emptied, they fall into a mill that grinds them into a shredded fibrous mixture. These ground peels are then loaded onto trucks and used as cattle feed. Earlier, we mentioned how tiny pins pierce the orange peels to release their natural oils. Those oils, along with extracts from the ground peels, are collected into a large tank. This mixture is spun in a high-speed centrifuge to separate the pure oil from the water. The process is repeated until the oil reaches 99% purity, resulting in pure orange essential oil. Meanwhile, the juice itself follows one of two paths: concentrate or single strength. To make concentrate, the juice passes through evaporators that remove about 80% of its water content, creating a thick and concentrated form. It's then frozen into the familiar tubes of frozen juice sold in supermarkets. For juice that isn't concentrated, it goes through flash pasteurization to stay fresh before bottling. First, it's quickly heated to 85 degrees Celsius to kill any bacteria, then rapidly cooled to 2 degrees Fahrenheit to preserve its quality. Since no additives are used, it can be labeled as 100% orange juice. After pasteurization, the juice is stored in huge refrigerated tanks that hold up to 3.85 million liters. In these tanks, the juice can stay fresh for up to 2 years with very little loss of flavor. Before bottling, it's time to reintroduce the pulp. Barrels of collected pulp are sent to a reprocessing tank, where they are blended back into the juice to create a smooth, even texture. Since people have different preferences, the juice is prepared in batches with different pulp levels, from a little pulp to a lot of pulp, and even completely pulp-free for those who like it extra smooth. What's your favorite pulp level? Let us know in the comments. After months of ripening in the sun and careful preparation, the juice is finally ready for its last step: bottling. Filling happens in stages. First, a small amount of pasteurized juice is poured into the bottle to prevent foaming, and then the filling is completed. An automatic scale built into the bottling system checks the weight of each bottle to make sure it's filled correctly. Once filled, the bottles move along the conveyor belt to a capping machine, which places the caps in the blink of an eye. Each bottle is then inspected by high-speed cameras and ultraviolet light to detect any leaks, loose caps, or other defects. Next, the bottles are tilted into a heater, allowing the juice to sterilize the neck and inside of the cap. After sterilization, they pass through a cooling station where they are gently brought back to room temperature. Finally, when the bottles are cooled, they move to the labeling station where they receive their finishing touch, a label displaying the brand, product details, and nutritional information. In large factories, specialized machines handle thousands of eggs per hour, ensuring both speed and precision. These machines take whole eggs and crack them open using mechanical arms or blades, applying just enough force to break the shell without damaging the egg inside. Once cracked, the egg moves through a separator that quickly divides the yolk from the egg white. The yolks and whites are collected separately, often to be used in different products, such as baked goods, mayonnaise, or protein supplements. The precision of these machines is remarkable, reducing waste and making it possible to process millions of eggs each day. This efficient system helps meet the high demand for egg-based products while maintaining quality and cleanliness throughout the process. And here we have a cookie factory that makes millions of cookie chips every day. The production process begins by mixing basic ingredients like flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate chips in large mixers. Once the dough is ready, it is shaped into thin, bite-sized pieces. These pieces are placed on trays and baked in big ovens until they turn golden and crispy. After baking, the cookie chips are cooled and move along the production line. A machine carefully fills the chips into bags, keeping them fresh and crunchy. Each bag is then sealed and labeled with the brand name and product details. The process of making KitKat chocolate bars is a meticulous process that combines art, science, and advanced technology. It begins with the careful selection of high-quality ingredients, including cocoa beans, milk, sugar, and flavorings, which are rigorously tested to meet strict quality standards. The cocoa beans are roasted, ground, and mixed with milk and sugar to create a smooth chocolate paste, forming the base of KitKat's iconic taste. In the mixing and molding stage, the chocolate and wafer layers are combined using specialized machinery to achieve the perfect balance and texture. The bars are then shaped, cut, and cooled in temperature-controlled chambers to ensure consistency. After cooling, the bars are wrapped in sustainable packaging designed to preserve freshness. Quality control measures, including visual inspections and advanced tools like X-rays, ensure every KitKat bar meets exacting standards. This dedication to precision and quality has made KitKat a globally beloved chocolate treat. Next up, let's take a closer look at the process of making French fries. It starts with choosing high-quality potatoes, often starchy varieties like russet or Idaho, ideal for frying due to their low moisture content. The potatoes are washed thoroughly to remove dirt, then peeled and cut into uniform strips. Consistent size ensures even cooking. After cutting, the potato strips are rinsed in cold water to remove excess starch, which helps prevent them from sticking together and enhances their crispiness. Next, the potatoes are blanched by briefly boiling or frying at a lower temperature. This step softens the interior and partially cooks the fries. After blanching, the fries are drained and cooled, often being frozen for storage in commercial production. Freezing also helps develop a better texture during final frying. In large-scale production, quality control checks ensure uniformity in texture, taste, and appearance before packaging for distribution or serving to customers. Every great jam begins with one key ingredient: fresh and ripe strawberries. But before these berries become a sweet spread, they first need to be carefully harvested. Strawberry plants are typically hand-picked to ensure the berries remain in perfect condition for jam production. Each berry is inspected to ensure only the best are selected, as high-quality fruit is essential for making the finest jam. Once picked, the strawberries are quickly transported to the factory where the process begins. Trucks loaded with strawberries arrive at the factory daily, ensuring a constant supply of fresh fruit. Upon arrival, the strawberries are immediately inspected for quality. Only the best, ripest strawberries make it past this point, as quality control is critical to producing a delicious jam. The first step inside the factory is washing the strawberries. Automated systems use high-pressure water jets to wash the fruit, removing any dirt, pesticides, or other contaminants. After washing, the strawberries pass through a sorting machine. Here, they are graded by size and ripeness. Any berries that don't meet the factory's standards are removed, leaving only the best strawberries to move on to the next step. Next, the strawberries are prepared for cooking. Machines automatically hull the berries, removing the green tops, and then slice them into smaller pieces. This ensures that the strawberries cook evenly during the jam-making process. The prepared fruit is then moved into large vats, ready for the next stage. The key ingredients in strawberry jam are, of course, strawberries, sugar, and pectin. In this step, the sliced strawberries are placed into large industrial cookers. Sugar is added in specific amounts to not only sweeten the mixture, but also to act as a natural preservative. Pectin, a naturally occurring thickening agent, is then added. This helps the jam achieve its characteristic texture, allowing it to set properly. The mixture is slowly heated, allowing the strawberries to release their juices and break down. As the fruit cooks, it begins to blend with the sugar and pectin, creating the base of the jam. This stage requires precision. The temperature and cooking time are closely monitored to ensure the jam thickens just right, without burning or losing flavor. While the jam is cooking, regular quality checks are carried out. Factory workers take samples from the vats to test the jam's consistency, sweetness, and flavor. If the jam isn't thick enough, additional pectin may be added to achieve the right texture. Meanwhile, the glass jars that will hold the jam are being prepared. Sterilization is a critical step to ensure that the jam remains fresh for a long time. The jars are heated to high temperatures in large ovens, which kill any bacteria or germs that may be present. This ensures the jam stays uncontaminated and has a longer shelf life. Once the jam reaches the perfect consistency and the jars are sterilized, it's time to fill them. This step is fully automated. The jam is still hot when it's poured into the jars, which helps create a tight seal when the lids are added. The filling machines are extremely precise, ensuring that each jar gets the exact right amount of jam. Immediately after filling, the jars are sealed with metal lids. These lids form a vacuum seal as the jam cools, locking in freshness. Here, each jar receives its label, complete with details like the flavor, brand, and expiration date. Once labeled, the jars are ready for packaging. With the jam packed and sealed, the final step is packaging. The jars are packed into boxes and prepared for shipment. Whether destined for local supermarkets or international markets, these jars of jam are now ready to be distributed and enjoyed by customers around the world. This factory in the Netherlands produces thousands of syrup waffles daily. Take a look at these incredible machines in action, perfectly shaping different types of mooncakes. In this production line, everything depends on precise timing and patterns to achieve that flawless form. It's truly mesmerizing to watch each mooncake take shape with such perfection. Cake making and decorating in a factory involves a highly efficient and organized process to produce large quantities of cakes while maintaining consistent quality. The process begins with mixing the ingredients, such as flour, sugar, eggs, and flavorings, in large industrial mixers. Once the batter is prepared, it is portioned into molds or pans using automated machines to ensure uniform size and weight. The cakes are then baked in large ovens at controlled temperatures. After baking, they are allowed to cool before moving to the decorating stage. Factory decorating involves applying frosting, glazes, or fondant with precision using specialized machinery. For intricate designs, such as patterns or logos, robotic systems or stencils are used to ensure consistency across each cake. Toppings like sprinkles, fruit, or chocolate are added as a final touch. The cakes are then packaged in protective containers to preserve freshness and shipped to retailers, ready for customers to enjoy. And here, we have the process of making chicken nuggets in a factory, which involves several steps to ensure quality and consistency. Firstly, the chicken used to make nuggets comes from trustworthy suppliers and is carefully inspected to make sure it meets quality standards. After that, the chicken is ground and mixed with a variety of ingredients, such as seasonings, breadcrumbs, and binders, to create a flavorful and cohesive mixture. Next, the seasoned chicken mixture is formed into nugget shapes using molds or extrusion machines. These nuggets are then coated with a breading mixture, which typically consists of flour, salt, and spices to add a crispy outer layer. After breading, the nuggets are typically fried in hot oil to achieve a golden and crispy exterior. Once cooked, the nuggets go through a quality control process to ensure they meet food safety standards. This may involve visual inspection, temperature checks, and sampling for taste and texture. After passing quality control, the nuggets are either packaged for distribution to retailers or restaurants or frozen for later use. Packaging is crucial to maintain freshness and prevent contamination during transportation. While the process of making chicken nuggets in a factory involves multiple steps and the use of machinery, it is important to note that not all chicken nuggets are created equal. Some companies may use higher quality ingredients or follow different production methods to create their nuggets. McDonald's likely produces and sells around 20 to 25 million chicken nuggets daily worldwide, leading to an annual production of over 7 billion nuggets. These figures provide a general sense of the scale of nugget production, though the actual numbers could be higher due to fluctuations in demand and promotional activities. Here at the Gruen Fish Factory, you'll find state-of-the-art facilities that were recently renovated with new advanced equipment. One highlight is the MSC 55MA slicer, which can cut salmon into slices between 2 to 60 millimeters thick at precise angles ranging from 10 degrees to 70 degrees. Equally impressive is the deboning system, which works at an incredible speed of up to 50 fillets per minute, with an accuracy of just 0.2 millimeters. As we continue, this factory process, one of the most popular treats in Asia, fish-shaped cakes. It all begins with batter being poured into fish-shaped molds on a hot machine. The molds close, and the cakes bake until golden brown. Some cakes are filled with sweet fillings like chocolate, custard, or red bean paste. After baking, the cakes move along a conveyor belt to cool down. Workers or machines check each cake to ensure it is well cooked and has the right shape. Cakes that pass the quality check go to the packaging area. In packaging, machines carefully wrap each cake in plastic or place them in boxes. Labels with the product name and ingredients are added. Finally, the packaged cakes are placed in cartons and sent to stores. The production of beef patties in a factory involves careful processes and strict quality control to deliver a consistent and delicious product to consumers. The process often begins with selecting high-quality cuts of beef, usually a combination of lean and fatty meat, to achieve the desired fat content in the final product. The meat is then ground using industrial meat grinders to create a coarse mixture. After the beef is ground, it is then shaped into patties using specialized patty-forming machines, which can produce patties of uniform size and shape to ensure consistency in cooking. These machines can form hundreds of patties per minute, increasing efficiency in production. After forming, the patties may undergo a process called tempering, where they are chilled to a specific temperature to improve their shape retention and prevent them from falling apart during further processing. Once tempered, the beef patties are packaged for distribution to retail outlets or food service establishments, where they may be further processed or cooked before being served to consumers. Stringent quality control measures are in place throughout the entire production process to ensure that the beef patties meet safety standards and maintain their quality. Lipton has been at the forefront of tea production for over a century. The process of making Lipton tea bags starts with carefully selected tea leaves, harvested from tea estates around the world, including India, Kenya, and Sri Lanka. The leaves are hand-picked at their peak for optimal flavor. Once the tea leaves are picked, they are transported to the factory where they undergo a precise drying process. The leaves are withered, rolled, oxidized, and dried to lock in their flavor. This process transforms the fresh tea leaves into the black, green, or herbal teas we know, with each variety processed differently to achieve unique flavors. Once dried, the tea is blended according to Lipton's carefully crafted recipes. Expert tea tasters ensure that each blend meets the brand's high standards for flavor and consistency. The tea is then placed into bags made of heat-sealed, biodegradable materials. Each tea bag contains just the right amount of tea for a perfect brew. After bagging, the tea bags are packed into Lipton's iconic yellow boxes. Throughout the process, rigorous quality control checks are carried out to ensure each tea bag delivers a consistent, flavorful cup of tea. The ice cream cone is a standard in any ice cream store or stand. This tasty and crunchy treat is known as a way to cool down in the summer and makes an edible container for a cold snack. Ice cream cones have come a long way since their accidental invention in 1904 at the World's Fair. From basic wafers to intricate sugar cones, each one must be perfectly crispy, strong, and delicious. It all starts with a simple yet precise mixture. Flour, sugar, water, and a binding agent like soy lecithin are combined to create the perfect batter. Brown sugar is often added to give the cone extra sweetness and a richer flavor. The key to a great ice cream cone is consistency. The dough must maintain the perfect texture, so the mixture is cooled or heated to stay at exactly 17 degrees Celsius. A computerized system ensures that every batch is the same, regardless of outside temperature. Once the dough is mixed, it's poured into machines that shape the cones. A large hopper controls the amount of batter poured onto hot baking plates. These plates cook both sides at the same time, ensuring an even bake. After about 50 seconds, the wafer is cooked and ready for shaping. While still warm and flexible, they are quickly molded into the iconic cone shape. After the cones are shaped, they are cooled on conveyor belts to set their structure. This ensures they are strong enough to hold ice cream without breaking. Every cone must pass a quality check. They're tested for consistency and shape, thickness, and durability to ensure they won't crumble under the weight of the ice cream. Bacon is a breakfast staple, loved for its crispiness and rich flavor. The process of making it starts with selecting high-quality pork bellies. Each piece is inspected for quality, then trimmed to the ideal size and thickness. The pork bellies go through a curing process where they're seasoned with a mixture of salt, sugar, and spices. This step not only adds flavor, but also preserves the meat, giving bacon its unique taste. The pork bellies are cooled and then sliced into thin, even strips. Automated slicers ensure each piece is the perfect thickness, whether it's thick cut or regular. The slices are then carefully packed to keep them fresh. Each package goes through quality control to ensure consistency and safety. Next up, let's explore the production of breakfast sandwich. The process begins with the buns. As they enter the production line, they're quickly sorted and organized by a highly efficient conveyor system. Each bun is automatically aligned and fed into slicing machines. These machines split each bun, perfectly separating the top and bottom halves in one swift motion. Next, the protein selection. In a modern breakfast sandwich, this could mean sausage patties, ham, or bacon. These different proteins are sorted, using a system that distinguishes each type and organizes them. With the patties perfectly sorted, robotic arms take over. Each patty is carefully picked up and placed onto the bottom half of a sliced bun. The robots work with a high degree of accuracy, ensuring each one is centered on the bun. The next step is adding the cheese. The factory uses a cheese extrusion system that slices and dispenses each cheese portion right onto the patty. Once the cheese is in place, the top half of the bun is added. This step requires exact timing so that the bun is added without disturbing the other ingredients. A robotic arm lifts the top bun and places it directly over the cheese, completing the basic structure of the sandwich. Now that the sandwich is assembled, it moves to the flow wrapper loading station. Here, the sandwich is placed into a wrapper that seals it for freshness. This wrapper is crucial for protecting the sandwich during transport and maintaining its quality until it's ready to be enjoyed by customers. Finally, the wrapped sandwiches are collected and organized into boxes for shipping. Bread production is a fascinating process where each loaf moves through a series of high-tech machines, all working together to ensure a perfect result. The process begins with loading the main ingredients, flour, water, yeast, and sugar, into large mixers. Each ingredient flows into the mixer in precise amounts to ensure consistency in the dough. Once inside the mixer, the ingredients are combined, forming a thick and elastic dough. This step is crucial for developing the bread's texture. Once fermented, the dough is transferred to a machine called the divider. This machine portions the dough into individual pieces, which will become individual loaves or buns. Next, the dough pieces move to the shaping station where they are molded into various forms. This machine ensures that each piece has the correct shape and size. After shaping the dough, enters a large industrial oven for baking. The oven is precisely temperature-controlled, allowing each loaf to bake evenly, resulting in a golden crust and a soft, airy interior. Inside the oven, the dough expands as it bakes, creating that irresistible fresh bread aroma. This stage gives the bread its structure and flavor. Once baked, the bread needs time to cool before packaging. Conveyor belts carry the freshly baked loaves through a cooling area, where they gradually return to room temperature. This step is essential as packaging. Warm bread could lead to condensation and affect its shelf life. Once cooled, the bread heads to the packaging stage. Here, a specialized machine wraps each loaf, preserving its freshness. These machines can pack up to 45 products per minute and can use different packaging methods. either sealing with heat or closing with clips. As we continue exploring how beloved treats are made, let's take a closer look at the process behind factory-made apple pies. The process starts with fresh apples that are washed, peeled, and sliced into even pieces. These slices are mixed with sugar, cinnamon, and other spices to make the delicious filling. At the same time, dough is prepared, rolled out, and shaped into pie crusts. The filling is carefully added, and a top crust is placed to seal the pie. Each pie is then baked in large ovens until golden and fragrant. Once cooled, the pies are packaged securely and sent to stores so they're ready for customers to enjoy at home. Over 400 million Snickers bars are sold every year worldwide, proving just how much people love this classic treat. But what exactly goes into making this iconic treat? In this video, we'll take you behind the scenes to show you how Snickers bars are made, from selecting the ingredients to the final wrap. It all begins with preparing the ingredients. Key items like sugar, corn syrup, egg whites, vanilla, butter, condensed milk, roasted peanuts, and milk chocolate are stored in specific areas of the factory, ready to be used in each step of production. Next comes the nougat, which forms the center of every Snickers bar. To start, the ingredients for the nougat, sugar, corn syrup, egg whites, and vanilla, are carefully measured according to the factory's recipe. These measured ingredients are then poured into a large industrial mixer that can handle big batches. The mixer heats and stirs the ingredients at the same time, with the temperature and mixing speed carefully controlled to get just the right texture. Once the nougat reaches the right consistency, roasted peanuts are added and mixed in thoroughly. This final mixing step ensures the peanuts are evenly spread throughout the nougat, giving it the perfect balance of chewy and crunchy. After the nougat, it's time to make the caramel. Just like with the nougat, the ingredients are carefully measured and placed into a large industrial pot designed for large-scale production. The pot slowly heats up while its built-in stirring system keeps everything moving, helping the ingredients melt and blend together. As the corn syrup and butter melt, the mixture turns into a smooth, sticky liquid. Once it reaches the right consistency, condensed milk is added to complete the caramel. Condensed milk adds a creamy texture and a sweet flavor to the caramel. It's carefully mixed in with the rest of the ingredients to make sure everything blends smoothly. Once it's ready, this caramel will later be layered on top of the nougat, adding that sweet, sticky layer that Snickers is known for. After molding, the nougat travels through a cooling chamber. This step allows it to firm up and hold its shape. Once cooled, the molded nougat is carefully removed from the molds. This has to be done gently to avoid any damage. Shaping the nougat is a crucial step as it creates the core of the bar, the chewy, nutty center that gives Snickers its distinctive texture. Next is cutting and assembly. At this point, the molded nougat strips are laid out on a conveyor belt or work surface ready for the next step. They're then measured and cut to the exact size needed for individual Snickers bars. This ensures that each bar is uniform and ready for the next stage in the production line. Accuracy is key when it comes to making sure every Snickers bar is the same size and weight. Once the nougat strips are ready, they're carefully cut into individual bar-sized pieces. This is done using specialized machines that guarantee each piece is identical. After cutting, the nougat pieces are lined up and positioned for the next stage of production, adding the caramel and chocolate. This step is critical. It divides the nougat into single bars and gets them ready to receive the delicious layers that make Snickers so recognizable. Getting this part right is important for consistency in every finished bar. Now it's time for the caramel coating. A machine specially designed for this step applies a layer of warm caramel to the cut and assembled nougat bars. It's set to the correct temperature and speed to make sure everything runs smoothly. The nougat bars are fed onto the conveyor belt of the caramel coating machine, where they move through a flowing bath of caramel. The caramel is kept at just the right temperature so that it spreads easily and sticks evenly to each bar. As the bars move through the machine, they're dipped in the hot caramel. A controlled system ensures every surface gets coated, creating that signature sticky caramel layer. After coating, the bars are given a moment to drain, letting any extra caramel drip off before being sent through a cooling tunnel. This cooling step helps the caramel firm up and stay in place. Caramel coating is one of the most important stages in the Snickers production process. It creates that gooey layer we all know and love, and getting it right is essential to the taste and quality of the final bar. Once the caramel has set, the bars move on to chocolate coating. Here, they're dipped into melted milk chocolate using another specialized machine. Just like with the caramel, the machine ensures that each bar is completely and evenly coated with chocolate from top to bottom. After being coated in chocolate, the bars travel along a chilled conveyor belt where both the chocolate and caramel layers are cooled and hardened. This step is crucial to help the bars hold their shape and maintain the right texture. When everything is set, the bars head to packaging. Each one is wrapped in foil and placed into branded packaging, ready for shipping and distribution. From a sweet mixture to those familiar treats, the process starts with a candy base typically made from starch molasses or invert sugar syrup. This base gives the candy its sweetness and structure. To this base, other ingredients are added, including water, sugar, coloring, and flavoring. Each component is carefully measured to ensure consistent taste and texture. Once all ingredients are combined, the mixture is heated and brought to a boil. This boiling step is crucial as it thickens the mixture to the ideal consistency for hard candy. The mixture must reach a specific concentration to give the candy its signature hardness. This part of the process requires precise temperature control, and factory machinery carefully monitors the heat to avoid overcooking or burning. After boiling, the hot candy mixture is carefully cooled to around 85 degrees Celsius. Cooling at this temperature makes the candy soft enough to be shaped, but firm enough to hold together. Some factories use molds to give the candy its specific form, while others cut it into the desired shape as it passes through rollers. Once shaped, the candies need to cool down completely. They are gradually brought to room temperature to prevent any cracking or stickiness. This cooling process is key to setting the candy's final hardness, ensuring it's ready for packaging and long-lasting shelf life. The cooled candies move to the packaging station where they're wrapped individually or in batches. Automated systems quickly wrap each piece, sealing in freshness and keeping them hygienic. Once packaged, the candies are boxed up and sent to warehouses ready to be distributed to stores nationwide.